I wanted to make a video showing what I did to improve the water resistance to the scooter. I don't really have the expectation that I can drive in the rain, basically just to improve my chances to get the cover if a surprise shower pops up without taking too much water damage. Video turned out to be too long for one video, so I split it into two parts. For part one, I will cover the display housing. Okay, we're going to start, and I found the best thing to get those little rubber pieces out is the pin, like that, clothespin or something like that. And without damaging it, I just kind of run it down the side and then slowly pry it up, and it comes out. And that exposes the two screws up here that we need to take out. So we'll take these front ones out first and then the top two second. And I'm trying to be real careful because this plastic does not feel super strong. And I'm going to use a little bit of that silicone Loctite for this, the stuff that's okay to use on plastic when I put them back. But these don't really feel like they're going to work themselves loose. I believe it's only these 4 screws that holds this little housing together. Okay, to get the circuit board off, it's just these 2 screws here. And again, I'm being real gentle with this stuff because these screws feel so cheap. Definitely not a project that you just want to use a hammer on. They look different, so I'm going to put them in a different spot. Another reason I wanted to do this was just so I could actually learn what's in here in case this thing goes bad, which I guess they do sometimes, or if I drop it, I might have to come back in here, and it helps to see or to do it once. Because the wires are coiled, looks like got some glue there, so I'm gonna check it out with a flashlight. Be sure to take care when lifting the board off. The wires in mine, all the slack, was hot glued down. If I would have pulled too hard, it could have broken some of the solder joints off the wires on the board. So be careful when you get to this step. Okay, so what I've done is I've just put a little bit of Loctite on this bolt that goes down into there. I want to be careful because there's plastic, and I don't want to get this on the plastic. So I only put it on one side, and I'll start to thread it back in. And I let it dry just a little bit. And part of the wire fell in the glue, so I can't really move it all the way out. So I'll tackle that if I ever have to replace the board. I'll be careful. I want to get it tight, but I don't want to crack the plastic. Okay, I got the second screw Loctited and down in there, so that bolts all the way in there. I'm going to wrap this. This is the horn here, this little thing. I'm going to wrap it with some electrical tape just so it doesn't rattle in there or make any kind of noise. I don't like this the way they've got that in there just laying. And also there's some plastic form stuff. I'm going to just take an X-Acto knife and knock that down. Just real easy, just knock these little, I don't even know if that's going to show up on the camera, but there we go, the shadow. Just these little things from when they poured the plastic. So that's pretty much that. I'm going to clean this up, and then I'm going to run a bead of silicone, Loctite, on the inside here to hopefully make this as water resistant as I possibly can, and then we'll seal it back up after that. So let me go grab it. What I'm using for the sealing is, it's the worst lighting ever. I'm not pro. It's Loctite 5926, and this stuff is, it's a light hold, and you can use it on plastic and metal. You can use it on anything, but it's light hold. The other Loctite that I'm using is Loctite 243, and it is medium. So this stuff is good even if there's a little bit of grease and whatnot. I try to make sure everything's clean. Everything should be clean on the scooter, because I haven't really, other than an initial drive test, I haven't really run it at all. So this is what I'm using on the bolts. The structural, it's a medium hold. You don't need heat to remove the bolts. And this is what I'm going to use to seal the electrical connections and the plastic housing, anything else like that. Loctite 5926. I ordered clear, they gave me blue, so maybe there'll be some blue, but it's a $300 scooter, so I'm not too concerned with a little bit of blue showing around the edges. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use some frog tape to go around the edges, so hopefully it doesn't get too gooey and goppy all over the place. Kind of control the spread of the sealant. So that's what I'm using, just painter's frog. And I've just kind of got this sitting on here just so I can kind of see where the edges are. You can always wipe the excess off, so I'm not too awfully concerned. But I'm going to run a bead down here, and just kind of like that. The thing for the top part is I will kind of just run it along here where that clear piece sits. Yeah, I'm gonna have to think about what I want to do for down here. Maybe I'll just run it on that, right next to that where that lip is. I'll just run it right in there. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and screw the circuit board back down. That's the beauty of editing. You didn't see me drop the screw on the floor. So I'm not I'm not going to silicone seal these two screws or anything. I'm just going to make them get a tight contact, and that's it. Careful not to crack the board. Alright, now I'm just going to make sure I know those screws are in the right spot. I want to make sure this thing sits down. Yep. So that seat's good. Okay, for this horn, I am going to wrap it with electrical tape just so when it sounds there's no vibration against plastic to plastic pieces and no rattle going over bumps. Just the last thing this scooter needs is more rattle. Nothing crazy, just a little piece, just so we don't hear plastic hitting. I'm just gonna kind of set that. I mean, it's not loud enough for me to care if it's pointing to the side or forward. If I ever take this apart, like I said, I'll drop it down into this housing, but I still don't think that's gonna make a big difference. Okay, now we got her started. See if I can get this back together without destroying and making a real big mess. See how good or bad I did when there's daylight. Get these other two screws back in. Wow, you can really feel how weak these screws are. I mean, they're inches from being stripped. I'll bring my flashlight in, but it's a bike light and it's super bright, so yeah, see, we did get a little more squeezing out when I tightened it down. So, not sure if that shows up. A little bit of blue squeezing out there. I'm gonna try and wipe that off. I guess that's good. I guess it means I got enough in there if it's oozing out when we tighten it. Yeah, if the blue shows a little bit, I don't think it'll look too bad. I don't know if you can see, but there's like little holes there that seeped into and sealed up. So I guess that could have been a place where water could have got in right there. And there's one on the other side too. And I'll do this again in the daytime just in case this doesn't show up when I review the tape. But yeah, so it's good this is sealed up now. And hopefully that keeps water from getting in. That pretty much finishes part 1. I hope to have part 2 up soon. Thanks for watching. I'll see you when I see you.